Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled you're joining us today because we are jumping right into a topic that leaves a whole lot of people feeling, well, kind of left out of a massive internet phenomenon. We're talking about ASMR. More specifically, we're going to take a really empathetic, science-backed look at ASMR sensitivity. So if you have ever felt like you're totally missing out on the magic here, this explainer is designed exactly for you. By the end of our time today, we're going to equip you with a safe, proven protocol for actually testing your own triggers.
Because let's be real, you probably know the exact scenario I'm talking about. You see a video with like millions of views. The comments are just absolutely filled with people raving about how this changed their life or how their brain is just melting with relaxation. So you click on it, you put your headphones on, you sit there and you wait. And literally nothing happens. Or even worse, you just feel incredibly bored or maybe even a little annoyed by it. It's incredibly frustrating to click on one of these and feel absolutely zero tingles while everyone else is experiencing this profound physical thing. It instantly begs the question, why am I not feeling tingles? Okay, let's just get this out of the way right now. Absolutely nothing is wrong with you. I want to validate your experience right out of the gate. ASMR is not some universal hardwired reflex like a knee-jerk reaction at the doctor's office. It's a highly complex sensory and emotional response, and it varies wildly from person to person. Some people feel it powerfully, some mildly, and a huge portion of the population doesn't experience it as tingles at all. So not feeling it? It doesn't mean your nervous system is broken. It just means it's unique.
The real problem is that when you go looking for answers online, you inevitably run into what we call the standard advice. Oh, just try whispering, try tapping, maybe buy better headphones. What about a medical role play? Now, this advice isn't necessarily bad, but it quietly and completely incorrectly assumes that everyone shares the exact same nervous system. It basically assumes that if you just push the right button hard enough, the ASMR machine is going to magically turn on. But as we're about to see, the science tells a completely different story. Section 2, the science of ASMR and why brains react differently.
So this is where we pivot away from all that frustrating, generic internet advice and look at the actual biological and psychological science. It's a super young field, but the progress is just fascinating. Back in 2015, Barratt and Davis did the foundational survey work. They identified common triggers, like whispering and slow movements, and noted people use them for sleep. Then in 2017, Fredborg and her colleagues looked at personality traits. By 2018, Julia Poerio's team was in the lab actually measuring heart rates and mood changes. And by 2022, researchers like Engelbregt's team were using EEGs to study relaxation effects even when the tingles vary. All of this points to one major, unavoidable conclusion. ASMR responsiveness is an individual neurobiological trait.
And this builds perfectly on that 2017 Fredborg study. They found that people who experience ASMR actually score higher in a specific Big Five personality trait called openness to experience. Now, this doesn't mean being open-minded in the casual, everyday sense. It indicates a real tendency toward imagination, sensory curiosity, and getting deeply absorbed in an experience. For the ASMR experiencer, their brain is actively deciding that a sound is gentle, predictable, and safe enough to just fully surrender to. If your brain doesn't naturally absorb sensory input in this exact way, well, the tingle simply might not trigger. What's really wild here is the physical contradiction of the whole thing. This was highlighted in Poerio's 2018 study. When they hooked people up to monitors, they found ASMR viewers experienced a reduced heart rate, which is obviously very calming. But simultaneously, they showed signs of increased emotional activation, which is exciting. It's this crazy dual pattern. It feels calming, yet oddly thrilling. If you are a non-responder, your body might not be doing this complex dance. You might actually just be relaxing in a much quieter, standard way, without that physiological spike that causes the classic scalp tingles. Section 3, calm without tingles, redefining success. This brings us to a really crucial turning point for us today. We have got to shift the paradigm away from the frustrating goal of chasing tingles and towards something much more beneficial. We need to redefine what a win actually looks like. Are you breathing slower? Have you finally stopped doom scrolling? Are you falling asleep a bit sooner? Or maybe just feeling less mentally crowded? Let me reassure you right now, if this content helps you achieve any of these states, you are winning. You're an ASMR relaxation responder getting a highly valid science-backed benefit, even if your scalp isn't tingling at all. But okay, let's say you aren't even getting those baseline relaxation benefits. Let's look at the practical reasons why this might be failing you. First, the trigger might just be completely wrong for your brain.
Second, the sound could be too loud. ASMR is meant to be gentle. If it's loud, your nervous system reads it as an intrusion and plays defense. Third, the context is wrong. If you're sitting there gripping your phone, constantly testing yourself, like, am I tingling yet? Is it working? You are keeping your attention system on high alert. A stressed brain wants control, not surrender. And finally, the format. Sometimes verbal whispering competes with your own internal thoughts, so nonverbal sounds might actually work way better for you. And speaking of triggers, the options out there are just vast. It is so much more than just whispering. There's tapping, page turning, hair brushing, medical role plays, and even purely visual things like light patterns or slow hand movements. It's like a giant puzzle. Finding the right category is absolutely crucial for your specific brain. You could feel literally nothing from a soft voice, but then completely zone out to the sound of someone turning the pages of an old book.
Section 4, a safe testing protocol. 5 steps for non-responders. So how do we navigate all of this safely? We've taken all of this research and distilled it into a very concrete framework for you. This is a structured, low-stakes path forward, a protocol designed to help you explore triggers without overwhelming your nervous system and without that intense frustration we talked about earlier. So let's break these 5 steps down. All right, steps 1 and 2. You have to stop making this a performance test. Stop chasing the tingles for 1 full week. When you chase them, you just create performance anxiety. And for step 2, you need to limit yourself. Try only 3 categories to start: soft voice, nonverbal texture like fabric sounds, and visual attention. Please do not sample 20 different videos in one night. Rapid-fire switching is just going to overwhelm your senses and keep your nervous system on absolute high alert. Moving on to steps 3 and 4. Keep that volume low. The goal here is comfort, right? Not intensity. And step 4 is a real game changer. Swap out the tingle check for a body check. Stop waiting for your scalp to do something. Instead, ask yourself, is my jaw a little softer right now? Is my breathing slower? Or my shoulders sitting lower than they were 10 minutes ago? Just direct your attention to your body's general, everyday relaxation cues. Which brings us to our final and honestly probably most vital step. Step 5 is summed up in one simple phrase. Irritation is information. If a sound annoys you, respect that signal immediately. Do not force it. Don't try to push through it. If repetitive tapping makes you feel agitated, that is your nervous system actively defending itself. Respect your biology and just turn it off. As we wrap up this scientific journey today, I really want to leave you with this main takeaway. Not feeling tingles doesn't make you broken. It makes you human. The science shows us that while ASMR is very real, it just isn't evenly distributed. Some brains simply aren't tuned for those classic scalp tingles, and that is 100% okay. You can absolutely still use this content for gentle focus, for sleep, and for calm. Just allow the benefits to be a little smaller and a lot more practical. So I'll leave you with this final question to ask yourself the next time you put your headphones on. Are you chasing nervous system fireworks? Or are you just looking for a body that feels safe enough to unclench? Because sometimes the ultimate goal isn't some magical tingling sensation. Sometimes it's really just finding a few minutes of quiet where your mind and body finally feel secure enough to let go. Thank you so much for joining me on The Explainer today. I really hope this protocol helps you find your own